I think a lot of Canadian conservatives still don't know who their political opponents are in this country. I don't mean that from the perspective that conservatives don't know that the Liberals and the NDP are their political opponents, although in the case of red Tories, I think they sometimes don't know that. I mean it in the sense that a lot of conservatives don't understand who the Liberal and NDP are anymore. They think that they're still honest actors like they were maybe 30 years ago. They're willing to debate ideas, they have principles that they stick to, and that conversations can be open and honest. These days, that doesn't even exist anymore. Yes, there's still a couple liberals who probably are still honest actors, but for the most part, the Liberal Party and especially the NDP are just full of leftists with a Marxist tradition to their thinking, whether they know it or not. They are willing to lie about everything. Their only principle anymore is just power. It's winning and power. They do not care if they contradict themselves. They do not care if all they do is try and smear you and use ad hominem attacks in order to try and get their way. If they get their way or they even move a little bit closer to getting their way, they are willing to tell those lies to do it. I'm basing this video off of something that James Lindsay was posting a lot yesterday because I think it is 100% true. In the sense of this is how a lot of leftists think, especially a lot of Canadian leftists in the Liberal and NDP parties. He was posting this a lot in response to leftists online freaking out about Premier Daniel Smith in Alberta passing just basic parental rights protections and other protections for children. And all these leftists came out of the woodwork and said, oh, Daniel Smith and the UCP are trying to kill trans children. They're trying to erase trans kids. They're putting kids in vulnerable positions. All this stuff. It's all lies. And guess what? They know they're lying. They know that what they're saying is a false narrative. They just want to create the narrative by saying it enough. And do not get buckle in the face of this because they accuse you of being a bad person. Do not try and justify, no, actually, I'm a good person. Actually, no, you're wrong. Actually, I'm a pretty decent person. I'm going to prove it to you. Don't prove it to them. They don't care. They actually do not care what the words that they're saying. They're just trying to win. And the best way of fighting back against this is calling them on the fact that they're liars, that they have no principles, and they're just saying stuff. Anyways, here was the thing that James Lindsay posted on X multiple times yesterday. It says, Marxists just lie. They lie so overtly and blatantly that people begin to question their own perceptions. It works because no one expects another person to lie so overtly. They don't believe in shared truth. They use words as weapons. Until you learn to keep this in mind during every interaction, you will continue to get played. They rely on you implicitly assuming that they have good intentions and are aiming at shared truth, and so dialogue can be productive. That's a deception. For Marxists, dialogue is not a way of attaining truth; it is a way to is a forum for manipulation. That is absolutely true. When I see Janice Irwin post a video about her supposedly crying over what the UCP did and saying that trans kids are being put at risk and they're going to die, Janice Irwin knows she's lying. She's just saying stuff because she doesn't like the fact that the UCP took power away from government that Janice Irwin would like to use. Janice Irwin changes her opinions on things yearly in contradictory ways, and she would never even know that they're contradictory. Some of these people also, the first person they lie to is themselves, so they actually believe they're telling you the truth. At the same time, if you follow their logical pathways, they immediately break. They're just saying stuff and they're convinced so wholeheartedly that they're always right that how could I possibly be lying? But they are lying. And they are, like that said, they are using words like weapons. This is why they use terms like transphobic, homophobic, racist. Oh, what do you hate this person? What do you hate workers? Like this is what the liberals are doing from anything from social issues to economic issues. They know that whenever they accuse the conservatives of being intolerant or being not kind because they want to cut spending, that is a complete fabrication. They know whenever they say that the conservatives oppose defense spending for Ukraine, or the conservatives oppose this or that, or the conservatives hate the environment. They know 100% what the conservatives think on these issues. They just don't care about actually, properly engaging with it. They know that the conservatives don't want to dump raw sewage in lakes and oceans, and they don't want to have black smoke billowing out of cities. Obviously, nobody believes that in Canada, but they're willing to pretend that you do because they're just trying to get enough people on their side that they can beat you in an election. And what you have to do is when they start trying to churn out these lies on the parental rights issue, on the carbon tax, on literally any issue, on taxes, spending, the military, foreign policy especially. The liberals do that trick a lot where they'll pretend that they're not playing to a radical anti-Israel base and they'll say, "Oh no, Israel has the right to defend itself." And then to another crowd they'll say, "No, Israel's a genocidal state who's trying to murder everyone in Gaza." They know that's a lie. They just don't really care because they're just trying to gather a big enough coalition for the next election. Whenever a leftist does this, at some point you just have to say, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're just saying stuff. You're a liar. You're a liar." Because that is the most true thing you could possibly say in these debates. They're not listening to your points. Try and make points for a bit. As soon as they stop actually properly engaging with you, as soon as they stop caring about the words that you're saying out of your mouth, then that's when you just say, "No, well, you're lying." And they try and counter you with, "You're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're racist, blah, blah, blah." On the immigration issue, this is a big one. The liberals and the NDP are trying to say that, well, just because the conservatives are racist, that they want to reduce immigration rates. It's not the fact that we literally do not have enough homes and services to be able to accommodate all these people in this country. "Oh, no, you're racist." No, you're an idiot. You're an idiot for saying that I'm racist. You're an actual liar. You know it's too many people. You just don't care, and you're trying to win on this issue. You don't care if you hurt the country in order to try and win on this issue. You have no principles. You're a liar. The NDP, Jagmeet Singh, whenever he goes after grocery store CEOs and tries to claim that they're responsible for the inflation he caused, he knows he's lying. He knows. He's sitting in the committees, getting to roast Galen Weston, knowing that committee rules don't allow Galen Weston to stand up and question Jagmeet Singh back. Jagmeet Singh's a liar. He knows he's propping up Justin Trudeau's government and goes out and lies about it. He's like, Justin Trudeau knows that he's causing massive inflation. He knows that the economy is getting worse. He knows that he has a massive amounts of wasteful spending. He just doesn't care. He knows that Danielle Smith's parental rights bill is actually very popular and that that it's like a completely innocuous and sensible policy. Justin Trudeau knows that. He just doesn't care. And he's just trying to claw away a few more people onto that issue because the conservatives are taking a pro-parental rights issue. Well, the liberals can't benefit from that if they go and also take that position because they'll lose their radical social base. So what they're going to try and do is try and rip away more soft, squishy conservatives or more soft, squishy liberals who might vote with the conservatives on that issue and say, "You're transphobic, you're horrible," trying to get them to move into their camp. If someone accuses you of being a bad person, they have no evidence, they're a bad person. That makes them a horrible person, a nasty human being. And they should be reminded of it constantly if they engage in that absolute garbage behavior. They are a garbage person if they're going to go around and say that you're racist, you're this, you're that. I don't accuse people of bigotry unless I have very good evidence that they have it. I haven't even accused any of these people of bigotry right now. I haven't said that they're racist or they're any of that. I think they're nasty for lying, but that's something I can prove. They are liars, so I will call them liars. You never have to don't engage in their game like they do. Don't just start making stuff up in order to try and achieve a victory. Conservatives, at the end of the day, should care about principles and arguing in good faith, but once your opponent isn't, you have no reason to stick around. You're a liar. You're just some leftist NDP liberal radical, and I don't want to talk to you. You would rather me live a less rather have me lower the standard of my living just so you can hypothetically cut emissions by 1% in this country. You are not an honest actor. You are just caring about the environment in order to try and win votes when you know that everything you're doing does nothing. Okay. Well, that's it for me today. I just want to quickly plug the fact that Wyatt Claypool, am running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. This is what the riding looks like. It's on the west side of Calgary. So if you live in this riding, check out my website in the description below, wyattclaypool.com, and buy a membership for the federal party if you don't have one. If you think you have one, go to CPC membership check on Google, and it will let you know if you're up to date. Make sure that we need to make sure we actually have conservatives representing strong conservative ridings. Calgary Signal Hill is like one of the strongest conservative ridings in the entire country. Yet we have a lot of red Tories jumping in the race, a lot of carpetbaggers, pro-lockdown people who did censorship policy for Facebook, a lot of ridiculous stuff. And then the other thing I want to mention is I have a Give Send Go link in the description of this video if you want to donate to our legal fund. We're being sued by a billionaire. He didn't even, some billionaire developer, ridiculous defamation case, only submitted 4 pieces of evidence, none of which had anything to do with the defamation that was taking place, or none of it actually showed any evidence that we said something wrong, because we didn't say anything wrong. But there's a Give Send Go link there. It's cost me more than $25,000 to fight back in this lawsuit. So if you contribute anything, it really helps me out. So other than that, I'll see you guys in another video. And thanks for putting up with some of these slapdash videos. I'm helping out with a robotics nonprofit right now. I've been out, so I've been filming these at like 6:20 in the morning, and then rushing off to the BMO Center right afterwards and staying there all day long. So thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.